I mean, the most entertainment we got out of this fight was him trying to pull out Copp's cheeks. That was it. His cheeks live on television. I mean, other than that, and then we saw a popped out toe. So if you're into feet and cheeks, you had a great time watching this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Locked Door MMA episode. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's show, we will be giving you guys a recap of UFC 304 and all the great fights that went along with it. But before we do, let's announce who won last week's giveaway. JP, who ended up winning the Baddie rookie card?
The Scouser lad. All right, it came down to two people actually. It was a tight race. Two people got. Was it the same parlay or did they have different ones?
No, they differed a little by one pick.
Yeah, so one pick differed. Both of them hit. So it came down to a random number generator. And Brevin ran the numbers. And the winner of the first ever Locked Door MMA giveaway, drum roll please, is Mr. Colton Kemp. Colton Kemp has won the card, the Baddie rookie card. Congratulations, brother. Big parlay hit there for you.
This guy's the next Babe Ruth. Let's tell a quick story about Colton Kemp. This guy was on the YouTube Shorts saying he was going to win it this week. He was under the video saying he was locked in and ready to go. And he literally thought about it and turned it to reality.
Called
this
his
guy,
shot.
He called it, man. Congrats, Colton. We're proud. We will be doing more giveaways on this channel. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next opportunity to win a super cool prize like the Paddy Pimlet card. Without further ado, JP, let's dive in to this past weekend's UFC 304 card.
Yeah, man. Great pay-per-view. A lot of fun. A lot of finishes, which you'd love to see it this coming weekend. Probably not again, but yeah, it was a great card, dude. Phenomenal.
Debatable.
Okay. Phenomenal. Pay-per-views are huge for us right now. 303 was a high, 12-1. And then what were we, 9-4, 9-3 on 303?
On 303, I was 9-3.
Yeah, 9-3. I was 12-1, something like that. And then this pay-per-view card, we picked mainly the same the whole time except for a couple fights. Both of us ended up going 11-3 on this card. Okay, so we still hammered this card. The lock parlay hit. Oh man, let's dive straight into it, dude. The first fight, which was moved. They moved the card around a lot. But Shauna Bannon and Alice Ardelan, I don't know which one it was. But what'd you feel during that one?
Yeah, it was kind of a boring fight. Neither of these girls are very skilled, so don't put a lot of stock into them moving forward. But Shauna Bannon came out with her karate style, did some nice work with the lead leg, kicked her to the body a couple times, kept her distance with a nice side kick. Ardeline got a few takedowns, but ultimately this one just came down to Bannon having the better strikes, the more significant strikes on the feet. Went to decision, and that was that. Bannon got the decision victory, so nothing much to take away from that fight besides the fact if these two are fighting individuals that are a little bit more well-rounded, I wouldn't put money on either one moving forward.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, the Irish fighters, one of them got a win. The other one got walked through. I don't think Shauna Bannon is going to be high level, honestly. Alice isn't either. This is her first UFC fight. I mean, apparently she's got a career on OnlyFans. She might stick with that because I don't think fighting is it for him. But yeah, it was a decent fight. Went the distance. I think we called that.
Yep.
Something like that.
Next fight here, we had Mick Parkin versus Lukas Veski.
We told you, Hammer Parkin. Bresky lost to Boudet. Big booty Boudet. We told you every time. You see anything to do with a loss to Boudet or they're fighting Boudet. Hammer the other guy. Hammered McParkin. He was a part of the juicer. He got a finish. I was surprised he got a finish. I thought it was going to be a boring, sloppy wrestle fest, and it wasn't. He actually went out there and got a finish. Yeah, Breshke looks like ass. Dude's terrible.
Yeah, no, he certainly is. Parkin looked pretty decent. Showed that he still has some power in those hands, landed a big overhead right, and Preveski just had no answer and he started getting wobbly. Ref had no other choice but to come in, put a stoppage to that one. Nick Parkin, we gave you an early call on that one when he was at like minus 260. He closed at minus 550. So yeah, man, it's important to get out ahead of these lines if you're betting on these fights, especially on these big, heavy favorites. So keep that in mind.
100%. And by the time we do the breakdowns on Wednesday, you get to Friday night, you get to Saturday morning, these lines already move a ton. So if you like a guy, especially if they're a dog, dude, because wasn't somebody on this card was a dog and then moved to the favorite, right?
Oh, Patty. Yeah, Patty
Yeah.
he opened as a dog, as dog money, and then when he closed, it was minus 125, like plus 110. So, yeah, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick with us every single week to get these early calls with great value.
100%. 100%. Moving up the card, this one got us hyped. We were 2-0 moving to it. We called the prop and everything. Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby. Tell me how you were feeling.
Brother, I was feeling great. We're gonna probably clip this one and put it on the TikTok for you guys to see. JP and I both called Patterson by sub. We were watching the fights with our boys up in Prescott Valley. We said Patterson by sub, hammer it, hammer it, hammer it. Boom. He goes out there and looks phenomenal. Got him down on the ground, put him in that arm triangle, and then all of a sudden, you just hear the it's tight, it's tight. He had it locked up. Bingo, bango. Patterson by sub. We threw that prop in there and hit big.
Yeah, man. Patterson's biggest shit for this division. Kiefer Crosby is cheeks. I know he's an Irish fighter. Oh man, we'd love to see him succeed. He's cheeks. He's ass. The submission defense on the arm triangle was non-existent, terrible. It's almost like you see it. It was like the previous card. I forget who it was. They get put in these arm triangles. They're not doing anything besides putting their hand up, looking like they're already gonna tap. It's right away. Come on, man. Patterson looked great.
Yeah, 100%. Next fight on this card, we had Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Now, JP, he kind of missed a lot of this fight. He had to go pick up the puppy, but overall, it was a great fight. What were your thoughts on how this one went down?
Watching a little bit of the replay, and then when I got back with the problem child, the puppy was causing problems for the wife, so I had to sneak out and go grab him during this one, which kind of sucks because you guys were saying it was fight of the night candidate. Prochnio threw a head kick that was like super close distance when he was wobbled Bukowskis. Yeah, it was a crazy fight, dude. I mean, control time for Bukowskis is 5.5 minutes to Prochnio's 9 seconds for the whole fight. So, I mean, that tells you something. 2 for 2 for takedowns. I mean, he outstruck him, but I mean, good win for Bukowskis. I don't think Prochnio's that good, bro.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of change of pace from what you're normally going to see out of Bukowskis. He landed his first ever takedown in the UFC during this fight, and he didn't just land one, he landed two. So I think that goes to show like he was having some problems with the striking of Prachnio. And like JP said, each fighter had their moments. It was back and forth. Both of them were wobbled at multiple parts of this fight. But man, for Bukowskis to get it down on the ground and then lock in another arm triangle there, he landed that one from top mount. It didn't look tight at all, but I think Prachnio was winded. He was gassed, so he just tapped.
Oh yeah, especially when they're bigger too. You're that tired, dude. You just put the weight on him.
Yep.
Good fight though. Moving up. This was a dog call again. What are we telling y'all? The Welsh gangster, Oban Elliott, Preston Parsons. What were we thinking?
Yeah, man, everyone was so high on Preston Parsons' ability to wrestle, yada yada yada. We told you the striking was poor. Oban's a strong dude. He's not a flashy guy. He doesn't have a lot of flashy wins, but we gave you the call. Oban Elliott, dog money, goes in there. He walked Preston Parsons down the whole time. He stuffed every takedown attempt and he landed some very nice strikes while he was at it. Dominated the entire fight. it was just not even close. From Parsons' side of it, he kind of looked lost in there and didn't really know what to do once he found out he couldn't take the Welsh gangster down to the mat.
100%. You said takedown defense? Holy shit, dude. Oban impressed the shit out of me with his takedown defense. Parsons would be deep into a double leg, and Oban would underhook him and stuff it, sprawl. It was very impressive to watch. His striking looked great. Parsons looked gassed. He gets sloppy even when he's not gassed. It's just too sloppy. Huge dog call, man. He was 1 for 9 for takedowns. The Welsh gangster. Keep your eye on him. He looks phenomenal.
And at this point in the card, JP and I were both 5-0. That's 5 fights in a row that we were just rolling,
Flying high,
just
baby.
rolling.
With a sub prop at that point? Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no. Next fight, we had Muhammed Mokaev versus Manel Kape. There was a lot of tension going into that one. You guys saw the security that was in the octagon before they even fought. I didn't even know if we were going to get to the fight itself. They were just going at each other. So, JP, what were your thoughts on this one?
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Okay, you guys are fighting in the lobby. We're fighting in the lobby. We're fighting in the PI. We're fighting in the face off, the weigh-ins, or at least trying to fight. He didn't even try and step on the scale. He just went straight at each other. And then you get in the cage. You're literally seconds out from fighting the other guy, and you guys can't be held back. Okay, here we go. We're hyped. Let's see it. And then you put on an absolute fucking snooze fest, brother. What the hell was that? I mean, the most entertainment we got out of this fight was him trying to pull out Copp's cheeks. That was it. His cheeks live on television. I mean, other than that, and then we saw a popped out toe. So if you're into feet and cheeks, you had a great time watching this fight. Okay, I don't. Other than that, it was terrible, dude. And then to top it off, Mokaev's undefeated still, and Dana said, "Nah, PLF can have him. PFL can have him," and they cut him. That's just unreal for the hype, all the tension that this fight had. Snooze fest, boring. Still hit though. Told y'all Mokaev.
Yeah, we told you what Mokaev was going to do. He's going to look to wrestle, and he's a very strong grappler. And it's an interesting thing that the UFC is going to let him walk. He was a free agent after this fight. It was the last one on his contract, and they're not going to re-sign him apparently. So interesting thing, given the fact that Mokaev's young and he's undefeated. They were having problems with obviously his style of fighting, but I think there's a lot more to the story than just the style of fighting. There's a lot of good wrestlers that just wrestle all the time. Like Marab and all these other guys in the UFC. I think it's just the pre-fight shenanigans, the causing fights outside the octagon. It's really just not a great look at on the organization. So I think there's a lot more that goes into it than just the style. A lot of people are up in arms about cutting a guy that he's a great wrestler, and they say, "Oh, Khabib could get away with it." There's a lot more than that. So I wouldn't read too much into it. PFL, you got an undefeated guy. Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy him. I mean, if he would have went out there and starched him or ragdolled him and got a nasty sub, then fine. Like, okay, we might resign you, but boring, bro. Just boring as shit for the hype that it was. Moving up, we were 6-0, and here came the first fork in the road. This is our first fight that we split the picks, and it was trash on my end. It was a terrible call on my end. Brevin, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I was feeling good. As you guys know, I picked Jake Hadley, the White Kong. I mean, he came out, looked in good shape. He was striking well. He was defending takedowns well. And even though Loughran was walking forward, Jake Hadley was getting the best of him, landing the more significant strikes. So I definitely was feeling great. Obviously, a lot of you guys probably thought Loughran was going to look a little bit different. I never saw it even while I was watching film. I knew that Hadley had the UFC experience advantage, and he just looked a little bit sharper, more ready to go on Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't think, I don't know, man. Watching Loughran's film and just his stand up in general, I thought he would be able to put together combinations much better. I was doing the impression with Brevin of Loughran, but when that man's just sitting there, just walking forward, chin down like that the whole time. It's atrocious to look at. And then when he attempts to move his head and not get punched in the mouth, he just moves backwards, and his chin just stays there, and he just breaks people's knuckles with his face. I don't know. It's pathetic to watch. Terrible to watch. 1 for 8 on takedowns. Okay. Terrible. Just horrible call. I'll take it on the chin. Is what it is. Let's move on. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, you don't have to talk about it because this next one I got wrong and JP got right. And it was a pretty big dog call on his part. I had a nice Jake Hadley dog call. Previous fight, Bruna Brazil was also the dog, and that's who JP took. I was on the side of Molly Meatball McCann, thinking that she was the stronger fighter. She would close distance, get her to the ground, land some dirty boxing strikes in there as well. And she just looked hesitant. She wouldn't throw, she wouldn't engage, she seemed slow, and really found no success with those takedowns. So even though she had the home crowd advantage and everybody was loud every time she landed a strike, there just really wasn't much to cheer for. And Bruno did a really nice job fighting against the style that Molly was supposed to bring to the cage on Saturday and never implemented. Molly took the loss. That's on me. I'll learn from it. Yeah, Molly kind of got fraud checked on Saturday.
Look me in the eyes. You guys better look me in the eyes. Okay? Plus 270. I fucking told y'all. Okay? Don't anybody tell me nothing. All right? Everybody was on Molly McCann. Okay? Plus 270. I told y'all it's a trap. Molly's money line is way too high. It is a trap. Boom. Y'all fell straight into it, man. Bruno fights at a slow pace. A weird stand-up, almost like a sparring pace. She's not good with power. Molly's just too sloppy, man. She makes it too much of a bar fight, a brawl. And Bruno's technical enough to kind of avoid that. These other girls who get spinning elbowed, spinning back elbowed, just let her get too close and let Molly body them in a sense. I'm surprised Molly survived the fight, dude. She got ripped to the body with a massive teep kick to the body, and it folded her hard. I'm surprised she survived, but yeah, huge dog call. We were what was that? Both 6-1, 7-1 at this point.
Yep, exactly. We were
Flying
still
high.
rolling. I mean, JP had his loss. I had my loss. I mean, we will get a perfect card one of these weekends, and I thought maybe this could have been it. However, that was just a rough outing for Molly McCann. Something to keep in mind the next time she fights. There's a lot of hype, guys, but not a ton of technical skill behind it. So it is what it is. Next fight on this card was Nathaniel Bigwood versus the Pinata Daniel Pineda. What were your thoughts on how this fight played out?
Hey, my thoughts is we got the big wood to come through, baby.
The lock, the lock.
The lock, Brevin's side of the lock. Pineda's mid. Pineda's very mid. One thing about Nathaniel Wood is it's kind of not annoying, but it's kind of stressful that he cannot finish these fights. He fought well. He fought really well. Pineda went 1 for 6 for takedowns. That was his only way to win, is if he was going to manhandle him. He didn't. Wood looked good. He closed as a minus 450 favorite. The fight was probably much closer than that line should have been, but he spent the whole third round kind of getting outworked, outdogged a little bit. But it was good, man. The first 2 rounds, somebody was trying to say that it should have been split. I heard some people saying it should have been split and not unanimous. I don't know what you're smoking. I don't know what you're looking at, okay? But, yeah, good fight, man. I'd like to see him finish one of these guys, a couple of these guys. It seems like he gets to that top tier. I mean, he did knock him down, too. I believe it was to the body again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he, I don't know if it was a punch or another teep to the body or something like that, but I'd like to see him finish one of these fights. But, yeah, it was a good one, man. First part of the lock hit, we were hyped.
Yeah, super excited that we got this one done. Like JP said, it's always kind of a sweat, the fact that he doesn't get out those guys out of there early, and that's kind of Pineda's calling card is he's a strong first round opponent, but outside of that, really not much to offer. We'll take it though. It was uh it was just good to see another win in the W column, you know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. We were flying high. Both had one loss. If you got one loss, coming into the main card. Like he said, we're getting a perfect card. Okay, we're just letting it build up. We're letting a couple more people come on in, enjoy the space. You know, get some snacks. We got a charcuterie board over there. You want to get some snacks, and then that moment, we're gonna nail a perfect pay-per-view. Okay, the Conor pay-per-view. We don't know. Y'all gonna have to stick around for that. Very next fight, good one. This one was entertaining. Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze.
It was entertaining. Going into it, I definitely thought Arnold Allen was going to look to get some takedowns, get inside of Chikadze's striking abilities, and really work the clinch and take him down and work him on the mat. However, that really wasn't the case. He kind of stood, traded with him, and landed some really nice left hands, and he looked pretty solid doing it. Once he started cutting Giga off when he was trying to circle out, Arnold had a lot of success with that left hand. And I think Giga's calling card is the strong kicks. And once Allen kind of felt the power, I think he no longer feared those kicks from Giga, and it really helped him elevate his striking. Great win there for Arnold Allen.
100%. I think Arnold looked phenomenal. Giga's very strong in the first round, like you said, with the kicks. It's a strong kicking onslaught in the first round, and most guys cannot handle it. Giga switches stances a lot. Arnold would circle to his power leg or away from his power leg every time he would switch a stance. Arnold did not lose the stance battle, and that led to success in the striking. Man, he took the path that was the hardest for him to win this fight. Was striking with Giga and dealing with the kicks, and he looked great doing it. We considered putting Allen as a lock, and we didn't end up doing it, but he looked great, man. Minus 270. This line should have been wider. I feel like this line should have been like the wood lines. I think they should have been swapped.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Allen looked pretty clean in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next fight, guys, this is kind of where things got a little chippy for your boy and I. Yeah, we were rolling up until this point. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez.
Oh my sweet Jesus. You are not better than him if he has jiu-jitsu championships and you don't. Why the fuck are you initiating grappling sequences? I'm over the stupidity, man. Like, I'll give it to C-Rod. He looked great on the feet. He was walking him down. C-Rod's got that tough style where he's big. His shoulders are big. He can walk you down. He can bounce shots off his shoulders and his arms. And then whatever he hits you with, you can block it. I think he hit him with a couple hooks that Duncan blocked, but you're still wearing them. You're still feeling them. I think Duncan just fought atrociously, terribly. I thought his takedown defense was going to be good enough to keep him away. They're in the big cage. He ran away from him at some points. And at the beginning of the fight, I told Brevin, I mean, if we have to do that, we have to do that. Let's just stay off the ground. And then I realized he just doesn't fucking know what he's doing. So I gave him too much credit. I'm done with the stupidity, bro. He fought fucking atrociously. Terrible call. Terrible call.
Yeah, fight IQ was definitely low. Coming from Leroy Duncan, the fact that he would enter into these clinches willingly, he was the one initiating the clinch, and you can't tell me differently. Go watch the fight if you disagree. And Rodriguez has the advantage there, and if he gets you on the ground, like JP said, multiple jiu-jitsu championships. The guy's a great grappler. All you have to do is keep it standing and outstrike him and land, and that's what we predicted, right? Was that Rodriguez was going to get eaten or get hit and eat one of these big shots. That never happened. It never came to fruition. He didn't even have to have a chin in this one. He just kind of had his way with Leroy Duncan, and Leroy Duncan looked a little lost. He looked a little like his game plan coming out there wasn't working, and he didn't have a plan B. And it was just abysmal to sit there and watch and understand, like, wow, this was wrong on our part for picking this guy. But what can we do? We learn from it, right?
100%. What's funny is today, actually, I was scrolling through social media and I saw a sparring clip of RoboCop and Pereira. And, I mean, he didn't look terrible against Alex Pereira. So I was like, if only we would have saw this before the fight, then it might have swayed our picks. But whatever, man. Moving up. Terrible showing by Duncan. moving up. This one, our spirits were low. I was pissed, and then this fight just took us to a whole nother level, man. This was an unreal statement. Bobby Green, I'm not calling him king. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Bobby Green versus Patty Pimblett.
Oh, Patty the body.
Oh,
Oh,
body
Patty
the
the body.
body.
Hey, he came out and put on a freaking performance, did he not? This guy, he's got a lot of fans around the world, not just from his fight ability, but from his personality. This dude's so fun to listen to. He's so fun to watch. This is why we got you guys the rookie card. However, King Green came in there with a terrible game plan. Was gonna look to trade with him early, but then all of a sudden shot a takedown. And from there it was wraps. Patty just threw up a guillotine, rolled it, transitioned it to a triangle, and then ultimately, as Bobby Green was going to sleep, pulled armbar. He almost got his arm snapped as he was out cold. Man, it was disgusting. But to see Bobby Green laying there on the canvas out cold and Patty just sitting there going with the chance,
Yeah.
putting his arms in the air, that was so fun to watch. And we were freaking hyped.
Oh man, we were going crazy, dude. It was like Brevin said. I don't know if he's in a bad spot. I don't know if he felt like if he negated the takedown, try to exit, if he was gonna get caught with something. What? I don't know why he shot it. Shot it wasn't the best shot either. Immediately, Patty went to defend it, and this is my biggest thing, man. We see so many guys in the UFC right now that pull guillotines like this exact situation. It speaks levels to where Patty Pimblett is at in the level of grappling. That go back and watch the finish if you want to watch some high level great grappling. Patty, when he pulled guillotine, had his right leg over his back that he immediately flipped his hips over and went straight to a triangle. I mean, if you're going to pull guillotine, you got to get that leg around. A lot of people don't get that leg around. They get the other far side leg around. Gorgeous, man. And then like Brevin said, I mean, you're going to sleep already, but I mean, I'll grab your arm. It's here. Why not, you know? And then we all realized he's already out. He's asleep. Somebody get him a pillow. Disgusting, bro. Statement made for sure. Disgusting. I'm on the Patty hype train forever now, bro.
Yeah, man, this guy could go out and lose the rest of his career, but I'll always enjoy watching him in the pre-fight build-up and on the octagon canvas every freaking Saturday that he fights. He's a must-watch TV guy at this point. I love Patty Pimblett. This next fight also a banger, the clashing of heavyweights. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Razor Blades, man.
We were going crazy. Patty did what he did. Tom came out. We were feeling hyped. We only had 2 losses each. All I needed was for the lock parlay to hit 5-0 on the lock. Tom Aspinall came out and walked through Curtis Blaydes. If anybody's telling me Curtis Blaydes landed on him big time or clipped him, shut the hell up, okay? I don't know what he clipped. He might have clipped the ground, bouncing his head off of it on his way down. That was a phenomenal performance by Tom. Curtis landed 5 strikes. Go ahead and show me one of those strikes that was significant. I don't think so. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Tom walks through anybody. Tom versus Jones. Tom versus Jones. I could give a shit to watch Stipe fight Jones. Stipe's a 42-year-old man. Nothing against him. He had a great career. I could give a shit to watch it. Hasn't fought in years. I want to see Tom versus Jones. Tom versus Jones or Tom versus Pereira. Heavyweight kings.
One of the two, and I'm telling you right now, that would be a freaking stacked gate. So many eyes would be on that UFC pay-per-view if they do set that fight up. It's got to happen. We got to make it happen, man. These guys are absolute killers. I really think the only thing that maybe people could take note of is when strikes were coming at Tom, he kind of does lift his chin up in the air. It's always a susceptible place to be. But I mean, he's shown time and time again he can eat those big strikes. He's been in there with Pavlovich and other guys that can take his head off at any given moment. I think, if he gets in the gym, works on just his strike defense and how he, evades, then it's going to look a lot better. But at the same time, a win's a win, and that power in the right hand is for real. And he put it on display on Saturday, getting Curtis Blaydes out of there in a minute flat. That was impressive to see.
Oh man, lock parlay hit. Y'all better hype on the lock train, man. That's going 5-0, 4-1. And stay tuned for next week. Y'all gonna see next week. Okay, this coming weekend. This one. I mean, we were flying so high, and then this one's just tough to watch. Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. Bilal, forget the name. I guess he's a champion now, so I gotta stop saying that. But, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, was that Leon Edwards or did he get cloned? Because that did not look like Leon on Saturday. At this point in the car, JP and I were both profitable. I think we sprinkled a little bit on Leon by KO. It really is not a fight that I love as far as a betting perspective because of Bilal's wrestling ability. And sometimes Leon just doesn't look great. I mean, second fight, fight against Usman, won at the last second. Even the Nate Diaz situation where he got clipped heavy and was kind of out on his feet for a second. There's just moments that Leon doesn't look amazing. It's kind of a little bit surprising to me that he was a champion, or no, not a champion for 8 years, but he hasn't lost in 8 years. And he was a champion for a long while. So it, I guess it was a long time coming for Leon Edwards, and I know that Bilal really wanted this fight, and we talk about fight IQ. He implemented a strong game plan for this one. He seemed very prepared. It's not gorgeous or pretty, but props to him. Let's give credit where credit's due. Muhammad's now the welterweight champion.
Yeah, I guess we gotta stop clowning on him, man. 9 for 13 from takedowns, and then Leon is trying to. I mean, Leon would get up, get away, and then he'd reverse position, and then he's trying to put his hooks in and take the back and not do anything. We're not throwing strikes. We're not trying to do damage. Nothing. You're trying to take the back, and then the round would go out. It happened like 2, 3 times. I mean, he got dumped on his head one time. It's just hard to watch, man. 192 total strikes to Leon's 89. It's just, I don't know, man. Leon has these moments, and you saw it in the Kamaru Usman 2 fight where he was quitting on himself. He was 100% quitting. I don't want to say he got bailed out because it was a gorgeous setup, but he hit that big head kick. That's not going to happen every time. I don't know if he's waiting on that to happen or what, but I think Leon's got a problem being dragged into deep waters with guys like this. As far as what we want to see next from both, I think Bilal takes some time off. I hope Covington's not thrown in the mix because he is ass. I'd like to see Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary.
That would be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, not too bad, but yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough. It was what it was.
It was what it was, but it did put JP both him and I at 11-3 for the pay-per-view. So don't get it twisted. We were rolling and we were locked in. We'll learn from this card and get even better for y'all every single Saturday. But with that, if you guys made it to this point in the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment if you like JP's hair, if you don't like his hair, if you liked our picks, didn't like the car, whatever it is, man, leave that comment down below. And for our Spotify listeners as well, make sure to hit that download button. And you can leave a comment on there as well, or come over to the YouTube channel to interact with us. And then make sure to hit that subscribe button over here on the YouTube channel. It really does help us out, and we really appreciate it, guys. So, yeah, we'll be very excited for the next pay-per-view because right now we are both on an absolute heater when it comes to these pay-per-views.
100%. 12-1, 11-3. Locks hit. So if y'all ain't tailing the locks at least, I don't know what we doing because
They're going to keep hitting. They're going to keep hitting.
we ain't looking back, brother. Juicer almost hit. The basic parlay almost hit. Go blow up CLD's DMs. Trash. Terrible fight. But here's what it was, man. Next weekend coming. What is it? Nurmagomedov Sandhagen. So that one's the next one. August 3rd. Early one. But yeah, let us know, man. Let's build a little community here, like Brevin said, and we'll do live streams. We got a lot of stuff planned coming down the pipe, so it'll be a good time. We want you guys to spend one of these fights with us and see how we're kind of reacting, how we're kind of watching it, because it's pretty comedy sometimes, man, when when these things happen. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Peace.